where it might go. And they go for Orianna. That's a character you do not have to guess where she's going to go. She goes straight into the mid lane position. She was doing insanely good last game. That shockwave is just so damn dominant. But sometimes not enough to quite close off the game, which was not the case for Tribe. They were not able to secure that win, despite having the Orianna. And they're just going to give it another shot, because Orianna last game was top damage, despite them losing that one. So, I got to say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Or fix it a little bit, because it was a little bit broken last game. But they're going to give it a shot once again. This shows also that Jarvan, and we're going to have a Wukong, which Wukong can be played both jungle and also in the Baron lane, but Jarvan is still there too, which Jarvan is also played in jungle. I've rarely seen, and I mean very rarely seen, a Jarvan get picked up in the Baron lane. Might be seeing completely a shift of the character in general for fast-play Wildcats. What would make the most sense here? I would prefer to see Wukong go potentially in the top side, and I think especially his healing is good in this matchup, and I think he should be able to deal with the Camille in okay manner. But Jarvan would make sense too. They can both go in those two positions, but I would way prefer Jarvan in a jungle position for this respective matchup.
For me, for the Jarvan, I definitely agree it should go in the jungle. It's been much more impactful to roam around and use that Kescalism in other places. Potentially, of course, for that Ari come level 5 to be able to then provide some support against that Orianna, lock her down, be able to chuck that charm and be able to chuck all of that damage on top of Orianna and be able to execute her instantly from that potential team fight. But I do want to say that still the better team fight composition has to go over here to Tribe Gaming. They have the combinations with the engage that we talked about, the escape that we talked about, which counters their composition, and the maneuverability actually to move away from Wukong's knockups, jumping into the fight.
That's the thing. I really do I fully agree with this one. Last draft, I was like, I think it's pretty close. I didn't want to choose a team right away. But here, I'm just going to give this one to Tribe Gaming. I think that they got a draft that covers so many aspects of the game. You got great engage, you got good peeling, especially thanks to the Alistar and also the Shockwave. Can do both of those things with the Orianna. I'm going to give it also to Team Tribe. I think that they are looking in a really, really strong spot. But we're going to be strongly also making our way into game number 2 of this BO3 matchup of Wildcats versus Tribe. Let's not forget, if you guys did join the stream a little bit late, currently the number advantage is in favor of Wildcats. The series is so far in their favor 1-0. If they win this one, it will be the end not only of their game, it will also be the end of the stream, as this is game number 3 of the day. But never know.
We hope for the best of 3.
We'll see.
We hope for the best of 3 with that Tribe composition. Yeah, we hope for it to continue into the night, but it will be a slightly more quiet here early game, Max. Man, not going to be the turret. It's going to be traded instantly, as they will just instead help with that red buff, allow Lee Sin to be able to clear that jungle faster, be able to get to his first roam faster, and be able to help out in some of these lanes. But you see, inside this bot side, Jarvan going to be that solo laner right now against the Alistar and also that Kai'Sa. Gonna have to retreat as Corki in that top lane. Won't be able to find anything just now, and the roams come down to try and make that 3-man support. Kai'Sa and Alistar going to be forced back, and the reset going to now come out.
There you go. They're going to be collapsing on top of Leon and also Emperor Duck. They're going to have to jump away. Emperor Duck can allow himself to just dash on forward. I'm intrigued to see Leon just roaming around the map so early on. They're looking for opportunities. That was a really strong response, very similar to game 1, where they're able to just deal with cross-mapping instantly. And this time they're just dealing with a good rotation from Leon in the early game. So Wildcats, they know exactly how to play against Tribe. And just by how they're playing in this early game, I feel like they scrimmed against these guys like many times. Like, they got a response for almost anything.
And as well, all the meanwhile, Corki, we talked about how strong that Fiora got, just farming turrets away slowly, but surely getting that lead to just obliterate the enemies. Corki starting to do that same, puts already that turret down to 2300, 2400 health, and that's going to be prime for that first plate in the early game. But Lee Sin almost goes down. Wukong not able to die either, and that's not going to be first blood just quite.
I was really scared for no PC. I really thought he was going to go down potentially, but no. Jarvan might be a different ball. Game's knocked up. Pulverize connects, and he also got himself headbutt into the wall, increasing that CC duration, but he's going to go back. Man, there's some... Doom. Whoa, Doom. Doom, you chill out right now. Okay, no, that was way too confident. But Lee Sin is there. You just wanted to stop the backport from happening. Can he find the kill, though? Gets himself a shield last second, but Wukong's ready to join the fight. Emperor Duck not looking very comfortable, and he still had the flash remaining from earlier. So he will be able to escape. But that was a lot of resources for really not much going the way of Tribe.
Even healer used there by the Alistar as well. And because that has been used as well, but excuse me, by the Kaiser, that's going to now make the disadvantage over in this dragon side lane because they're not going to have that potential 2 versus 2 engage. A Braum is going to be able to be a lot more safer, going to be able to output a lot more potential aggression without being punished so hard.
3 minutes in. Still 0 kills coming out. Though might change into the bottom side. Pulverize, headbutt combo coming out onto Flanked On, but Flanked On will survive regardless. The next Drake, man, still 0 kills, and the first Drake is just about to spawn in the next, like, 40 seconds now. So, hey, it seems like this is one of the most passive games we had all of today, which I'm not against. But Corki joins up the fight to bottom side. Pushing down the wave. Going to be checking out the itemization so far, too. No one has yet to get their first item. It's after a little bit of a slow start. And Alistar have yet to go back to base to get himself the lock-in enchant. Hey, you got to get it because Drake's fight is going to happen very soon. You need that lock-in enchant. It's such an important first Drake fight item to have. You can't afford to not go back and reset, which he's going to do now. It is a little bit late to do so, though.
You're right about it there. It will be unfortunate without that shield to be able to get there in time because, yes, they go back, but what we have lost here is potential prior. They're actually lucky that Wukong will go back as well alongside that Ari and provide some respite because you see all the ports ready for this dragon now as it jumps on to the Wild Rift. It will be the side of Tribe to reach it first. They're going to start and might just be able to burst this one down without any contention. There's only Wukong here, but it's already too late. The headbutt comes out and now this might goes over, but a fight they still want to take.
Cow stronger than Monkey, apparently. Great kick. Oh, and so many enemy targets off Wildcats. They're just not able to do anything. I was criticizing... Okay, you know what? I was criticizing initially the slow reset coming out from Friend, which I think it was, but the reset coming out from Wildcats was even slower, which made it super easy for Tribe to get that Drake, and the headbutt also pushing away the Wukong made it so hard for them to even contest it in the first place. So I gotta say, this was super well played by Tribe, and though into the mid lane, gonna have a great engage, 3-man knockup from the Wukong ultimate. But nothing will be converted. And that ultimate's got a pretty big cooldown at this stage of the game. So no PC's going to have to be very cautious of his next move. So in the bottom side, another fight's about to happen. Friend and also Doom went a little bit too deep. Braum is ready to collapse on top of it. Doesn't have the glacial fish anymore. But with this passive, it might just be way more than enough. His friend going to get the pulverize. Headbutt is going to be available. They're just going to try and run for their life. It should be good, but you know what? Wildcats are moving all over the place, but not able to convert it into anything.
It feels like a little bit of desperation here after losing that dragon. They were still looking for their fight. They try to look for the fight in the mid lane under the tier 1 turret. They try to look for that pick down in bot lane, but they're still too slow in the rotations. And this time is Tribe answering fast-paced rotation. And unfortunately for them, they're now on the back foot. They're starting to fall a little bit behind with 1k gold deficit. But more importantly, that dragon is a real deficit against Wildcats.
Yeah, that Drake is going to be having a pretty big impact. It's a rather big shield, especially early game. That is actually a rather intriguing and impactful Drake. As can just soak up entire abilities in the early game, so you've got to be very careful of how you adopt this. Though Flanked On going to go towards the bottom side. He does not have his Glacial Fish available right now. Maybe on the short cooldown. Maybe able to use it very soon. For an extremely low. Does not have the flash also. Currently on a 50% cooldown. He will be good nonetheless. But Doom, a little bit confident. Going to be pushing on forward. He's put the enemies rather low. Great headbutt pulverized. 2-man push up. But he's got also the shield from that enchant. So he's going to be looking pretty dandy. Able to tank up all of that damage. Though, Leon going rather deep. Not taking any tower shots. But during that time, the Herald was picked up towards the top side of the map. Lee Sin going to go for the re-engage. Great Cataclysm. Going to buy so much time. And then paired up with a Charm. That's exactly the combo we were talking about into the draft. Charm into Lee Sin. He can't do anything. And that's going to be the first blood of this game, picked up in 6 minutes and 30 seconds. That's such a late first blood to come through.
But Leon won't be able to find that pick either onto Gandalf. And Ari at least gets that kill into their pocket. And that's going to be so important because of this Orianna with the advantage in lane. Also, that Mountain Dragon going to be able to provide that barrier and make it even harder. They're looking for this scuttle over towards now Prio for this second dragon. He will be able to find it. And that's going to be so important for the side of fast-paced Wildcats to now take vision control over the enemy jungle, over this Drake moving in the next couple minutes. But on the top side, Jarvan moving in as Leon looks for the fight.
He's going to be looking for it. I think he's not really interested with that one. The wave is a little bit too substantial, so he's going to put his focus on that, which I think was the good call from Leon. The bottom side seem like we're going to have finally a turret getting picked up. This is going to be the very first turret of these games. And the meta is very focused around picking turrets early game to get that gold advantage. You know what? It was definitely a late one, but they were a little bit behind in gold, as you mentioned earlier, so it's going to put them in a really substantial position. They're looking really comfy. Hopeless taken down. Emperor Duck, great dive in the tower. The Herald's going to be also cracking his way down. That's 2 plates going their way. So much extra gold in the favor of Tribe, but the charm coming out from Gandalf is looking substantial. Snitch going to be struggling as he is solo, but still hitting some really big damage. Not able to hit the ball last second. Hectic Ultimatum right on top of the Monkey. Wukong not able to do anything. That is why I love Camille so much. It's so easy to lock down your targets. And now it's going to be Tribe going onto an absolute fiesta of an engagement as Flankton is left alone as they get himself 4 frags. This is huge for Leon and the rest of his team.
Leon and Tribe will be able to pick up now 4 kills for themselves. The Dragon back up just in time at the end of that fight will be the second Drake now into going their way, starting to combo the buffs with the Cloud. So going to be a clean one for them. Jarman's not going to be there in time. All he can do is watch. It'll be Alistair even to take that one away. They're going to reset now, be able to clear these lanes and get prepared and set up for now the 10-minute mark and for this Baron coming up.
Yeah, Baron, you're going to have to be careful with that one. Oh, just seeing the next Drake is going to be an Infernal one. If Wildcats are able to get their hands on that, that could be redemption. All right, seeing how far ahead right now you have the side of a Tribe actually being, it might be a little bit hard. At least Tribe are ahead in terms of team fighting. In terms of gold, this is a very, very small lead for just a 9-minute game. So it's still not over whatsoever for Wildcats. They can easily make things happen, especially with characters such as Wukong and also that Cataclysm, Fomp, can Hopeless, can really, really turn the tides of a fight in their favor as long as they play those combos properly. Coming down to the wire. Snitch going to be holding himself the top side without too much of an issue. But these 2 teams are being so respectful. Like, I'm loving this. This is such an intense game.
You see these 2 teams much more even than our previous predecessors here. But it still will be the reset nonetheless here. The wave's going to be cleared, Maxman. And you see in terms of these builds, now the 2 items starting to go over with the Archangel Scarf. The Leandri is going to be over to that Orianna. The Ari now picks up also her second item, slightly ahead in the build, though, does have those tier 2 Ionian boots versus the Orianna, who's now just going to need to go back to base, reset, grab the advantage back in her favor, and now get ready, as we mentioned, for maybe the next fight to come out. You see Leon split pushing as well on the side lanes. That's going to allow now the pressure on these side lanes, Max, to then set up for these next objectives, set up for vision control in the enemy side around that top area, and maybe start finding picks from there.
We talked about so many times the reason why I wanted a Camille picked up is because of the Corki or even the Ari to lock them down. Also, the reason why I want to play a Camille in the first place is because she is so good at split pushing. She is so slippery. She got that empowered basic attack where she could easily pop down the turret. So they're using her, I believe, extremely well. And that's exactly what you should be doing when you're playing with that character. Play to your win conditions. And Camille, her win condition is picking gold tower, gold from towers, and get herself in the advantage by doing so. So I think it's been looking pretty good for Tribe. This mid tower is just on the brink of death. Just a few basic attacks and Tribe could open up an entire section of the map for themselves and push Wildcats back even further. But so far, good defense coming out from Corki. He's not going to let that one go down. And you can see him, he's got the missiles. He is fully prepared for the next engagement.
You see him ready, but you do have to be warned that they might just look towards this top fight. The aftershock doesn't go wide.
Already much to add on top of that one, just domination coming out from Tribe, and that's going to be a double frag coming up to them. Wukong and also the Ari out of commission. Baron is available. Intrigued to know if they're going to go for it here, Highland, and seems like they will.
It will be bound to be started up here with that quick, crucially double onto Wukong. That's not going to be the smite there, and that will be the free Baron potentially. Pagimo goes down, though, for the fight.
Oh, Leon going way too deep, too greedy. Leon way too greedy. He's going to regret that one quite-heartedly. They're going pretty low. Smited away, though, this time around by Emperor Duck. So they're sure they lose Leon, but they get the Baron, and it is a worthy trade. It doesn't matter all about the outcome at the end. So Leon, sure he dies, but Baron is going to be big. They still got Baron as a 4-man buff, and they can easily pick up this mid turret, hopefully with the next encounter.
I still felt Leon didn't need to go so far in because Leon still is going to be respawning. The Dragon's still going to come up, and because now Wukong is up as well, they could potentially be setting up for more vision around this Dragon. Maybe they just hold off for the red sensors to come through from Tribe and then sell a vision afterwards and keep that vision there. But Braum now goes in, kicks back.
What a great ultimate Glacial Fissure. Then you had the kick also, but fortunately Glacial Fissure was not going to buy enough time for the Braum, so he's going to be falling regardless. Emperor Duck, though, going forward. Man, these Lee Sin pushes, sometimes they just find one character out of position and you punish that. And that is why the composition of Tribe is so damn good. Camille going to go for the TP on top of the Lee Sin. Make it towards this Infernal Drake. It is not going to be a Soul one, but it doesn't matter. It's still going to increase their damage rather significantly by a pretty chunky percentage. A Snitch already on the front line. Doesn't have, though, his ultimate available. Used it just earlier, so they might have to buy a little bit of time before they decide to go for a re-engage.
Keep in mind the Baron buff still up here as well. They can still split push with that Camille. We talked about how good they are. Even the Lee Sin so quick and speedy. You can just split push all over this map alongside them in the bot side as well. Though these empowered minions now taking that second tier turret. Going to be the third turret of the game. That tier 2 goes down. And it will be now just the side of fast pay Wildcats defending for that tier 3.
Gandalf not able to really defend that tower against the side of Camille. Leon popping off over on the split push, which is what Camille was made to do. Oh, no. Do you see that damage coming out from Snitch? It's absolutely insane, though. Cat's going a little bit too far, but because Camille's not there, he can just easily move away from that spot. The Ectic Ultimatum not being on the table, it is easy for Kadze to roam as he pleases. But now, Turrets falls down. They get himself the empowered minions in the bottom side. They're going to keep some natural pressure, and Wildcats, they're not going to be happy about that.
That's going to be constant pressure with those empowered minions, Max, man. It's going to be no respite for fast-paced Wildcats, and it all looks like Tribe this game in match number 2 because they now turn their attention to the mid lane, looking to try pressure that one as well. But fast-paced say no, they will not lose this second tier turret. They will at least keep their jungle, albeit on the edge, to their favor, but they will have no jungle to take because Lee Sin, meanwhile, Emperor Duck just smashing through every croc.
He's taking everything for himself. In terms of gold, he is looking damn pretty. 10.3k gold currently in his favor. Not top gold, though. Top gold, that would be going the way of Orianna. Played so far really well by Snitch. And I got to say, his damage is through the roof. He doesn't even ult, and he just takes 1/5 of the enemy's health bar just in one ability. And that ability cooldown is just so short.
Like at least 50% with the Rabadon step cap.
Did he just buy it? Did he just buy it now?
Yep.
Oh, he just bought it now. Okay, this is going to be changing the tide of the fight even more. He's not even going for anything like just tanky related. Sure, he does have himself a Zonya, which is going to make him a lot more reliable in those fights in terms of not getting bursted too heavily. But man, Snitch has been doing so good this game. I do have to say, this is an insanely well-played Orianna.
Yeah, the Orianna coming out clean. It just is a straight-up advantage over the Ahri, and that just comes down to the bans. Actually, it was the side of fast pay, keep in mind, taking away that Aurelian Soul, and it then allowing Tribe, obviously, to pick up that Orianna first and putting him in that nasty position. Just not enough of a hero pool to go down into these mid-lane picks, and they fall short because of it. But they now also lose that tier 2 turret, going to fall further back into their own base. The only tier 2 turret still taking under fire by minions is in that top lane, and you can bet the Tribe looks to take that alongside the Baron, and there's nothing as Wukong can do, force back.
Oh, was that an instant flash coming up from Emperor Duck? I think it was, but you know what? They're going to be taking that Baron uncontested, but this time not down as a 4-man squad. They are up as a 5-man team. That's a 5-man Baron buff coming on through, and they are looking to push everything. And we talked about the natural pressure bottom side thanks to that Inib turret. Man, it's forcing them to go back over there every single time. And the next Drake being the Soul Ocean Drake, because of that natural pressure in bot lane, this is making it so hard to contest potentially for Wildcats.
Wildcats, though, they still have at least 2 tier 3 turrets remaining. But because, as you mentioned, that Drake now coming up, I doubt the Tribe are going to look to take that fight. They're just going to play it safe, use those minis, push out the waves in that mid lane, in that bot lane, and then they're going to reset back to the Dragon, secure all 4 Drakes, and from there, be able to then close out the game unless Fast Pay make a mistimed team fight.
Well, talking about mistiming, seemed like there's going to be an instant regret from the Jarv, an instant obliteration. CC Fomfrin, and also just got Orianna Snitch just doing such a good work with that shockwave. There's not much they can really do, and Wildcats now heals up against the wall. That Nex is going to go down. His bear currently. Great kick, and also the Alistar going to get some CC, and there's nothing the Wildcats can do. We shall be, for the first time indeed, go to a game number 3 for the Wildcats up against Tribe Gaming.
It will be Tribe equalizing the series here in Tribe. Just doing so dominant work. Only 2 kills going over to side of fast pay this time round. Of course, that goes to Lee Sin early on, and also Leon getting a little bit too overextended. But albeit it was so dominant by the side of this Orianna, 2-0-4 almost in every single fight of this game, Max, man. And you see, as soon as they get their Rabadons, as soon as they get their rod and they get their staff here, they are just able to output so much damage, and with that staff, break down any magic defense that they were even putting up.
Okay, so let's put a little bit of a bet here. Okay, I haven't checked. Who is top damage? I'm going to say Snitch right away. Has to be.
Snitch, I have to agree there just because of the fact